Yes, people, welcome to NAF. If you've never been in before, Happy New Year's. Make sure you smash the likes, because guess what? New Year's resolution mean New Year's likes, because you're a nice person. Did I gaslight you into liking the video, potentially? We're going to be talking about Arsenal. Yeah, I'm a rival fan. You can see that in the background here. And I might be joined by others as well. You can't really see over there, but there's a Man City shirt. Regardless, rivals fought Arsenal. We're going to drop off, didn't they? So when the collective heads, like myself and a couple others, were mentioning, Arsenal got a good record against Brentford. They've been all right. Ipswich don't get fooled by the 1-0. Before that as well, when they smashed up the team beforehand, was it who was it that beat like 5-1? Was it West Ham? I can't remember. Anyways, but they smashed up the team before without Saka as well. Crystal Palace, that was the one. And then now Brentford. Not easy, by the way. Haven't really lost all year at their gaff until Nottingham Forest, I believe. And then they just got smashed up pretty much from minute 0 to minute 90. There you go. But I made to break down the game. I've got loads of different points. You know what? Let me know with you guys, because you are the Arsenal fans, and there's some things I might point out, but you feel like, but this is this reason or that's that reason. Do get involved. I like it when people get involved. I like it when people comment. I like it when people like the video. But I won't mention it again until the end. But yeah, let's break down the game anyways. But it was a well-deserved 3 points. Look, like the title said in the thumbnail title, whatever. We'll talk about Nwaneri, absolute baller of a teenager, baller of a kid, and whatnot. And also, hands down, Arsenal deserve their flowers because they got past that test that we was all talking about. And you know what? Fair play. I think even Arsenal fans were anxious about, no Saka, no party type situation. When I mean party, I mean like an absolute, not that the football. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, let's break this game down anyways. This is my points. And I'm going to start with some fair criticisms, right? And then I'm going to get into the positives, because there's a lot more positives than there were negatives. But the thing is, it's more like a constructive criticism than anything. It's not trying to force an agenda on a player, right? Well, first one, let's get it out of the way. Calafiori has to adapt to the Prem a lot more quickly and a lot more swiftly. I know he's had his fair share of injuries, and I know he's come from the Italian league. So he's got that, that period where he's allowed to adjust, see how he is. He's not really naturally a left back. He's a centre back, right? And in recent weeks, even Lewis Skelly, he's barely had a debut, right? And whatnot. He's barely had major minutes in men's football, but he comes in and he looks wicked. And today, even when he come on, be fair, he shut up shop really nicely. And, he's been playing a lot of minutes. And of course, Arteta obviously wants to get his players, other players in favour, the other players a rest and whatnot. You got another game in a few days. Fair enough. But he's kind of struggled to adapt to the Prem's pace a little bit of physicality. But, give him another preseason, give him another summer, see how that goes. But he did struggle a little bit today. And I've noticed this with some defenders that come from other leagues, and it's when they back off a little bit. When they back off a winger or attacker a little bit too much and don't close down the space. You can do all the hair flicks you want. You can look as great as you need. You can get all that from the fans. By the end of the day, you should be closing down that space from Mbeumo. You should not even be letting him get into the box. That, of course, you would probably critique Erdegaard for giving the pass that he gave away and whatnot. It was too easy into the space, hit on transition. I hear that part. But he wasn't so impressive, giving away the ball in certain areas as well. I thought, Mbeumo and Vissa would definitely move in a little bit more to that side, because obviously Timber's side was a lot more solid. But get that out of the way as well. Another one of my criticisms, which is the final one, is Erdegaard should not need to drop that deep. Erdegaard is just much better when he's further up that pitch doing Erdegaard things. When he drops deep and then he has a run at the defenders and whatnot, and I know he's there to dictate the game, dictate the pace, help out and stuff, but I feel like you got Timber there. You paid all the technical ballers, bar maybe Martinelli today. It was moving swiftly, moving quickly, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And just for me, it's just like, why is Erdegaard down there? I know he's the conductor, but he shouldn't be needing to be that deep, surely. But it worked to a degree as well, but it was a little bit, when he did go backwards, it did need to go a bit further, a lot more faster into the final third. And that's where you find Erdegaard when he has the ball, not Marino. Marino should be probably doing that, or somebody else doing that sort of job. But obviously, second half that picked up. I'm only going off the first half. But yeah, that was my only kind of two criticisms today of Arsenal. I know someone's going to go with Martinelli in the first half. He was drowning. He wasn't that good. I still think he's a lot better on the right-hand side. Like just in the poaching in the box in that area where he doesn't need to drive with the ball. He's the guy that you want to find at the back post. And to be fair, that happened today. It happened today again. Same thing with Crystal Palace as well. Done the same thing, just poaching at the back post, waiting for an opportunity. Bit like a poacher. Anyways, let's get to it. Get the ball to Nwaneri as quick as possible because this kid is special. I don't know if he's 18 now or he's still 17. Regardless, he's a teenager. It's his breakthrough year, and he's not a proper full season. Obviously, he's getting minutes here and there, but now he's getting. I think that was his first. Was that his first start in the Premier League? It might be even, and you trusted him, Arteta, as well. And this kid plays without fear. Now, a lot of kids that come through the ranks, you can probably think about Phil Foden back in the day, Marcus Rashford back in the day. All these, what's so exciting about academy prospects that look like they got potential is that fact of they don't care who they're up against. They're raw. And then 1 year, every time he got the ball, right, driving, having a great get. His first half, him and Lewis Potter, I swear on my life, what a battle. Two up-and-coming talents. And you know what? It was a good spectacle, at least on that side. It was a good tactical battle, and I liked it a lot. And Nwaneri was trying to make a situation out of nothing because it was moving a little bit lethargic in the first half, in my opinion. A lot of sloppy passes. I thought Partey was the best player on the field at that point as well. He was conducting little bits and bobs. He was really good today. I don't think Partey's going to get his flowers as much as the next because obviously the other 3 goals went in. So I thought, get the ball to Nwaneri. And this is what I was talking about as well. And in the final moments when it needed to happen, obviously, Jesus, it didn't come from him at this point. But Jesus, obviously, look, the guy's on fire. Anything in and around the box, he sniffs it out. He's done it again. It was pretty much a forced error from Flecken. And then obviously, was it Flecken? Was it Flecken the first goal? Because obviously it was like a bit of I think someone shot. Was it Partey that shot? And then Jesus on a follow-up. And then he got the first goal in the right moment at the right time. He's on fire. He's full of confidence as well. And what I noticed about Jesus today, talking a little bit fast. He didn't drop as deep as he needed to. He was just in and around the area. I didn't need to do that drop deep job. Yes, pressure is pressure and you've got to get into certain areas of the pitch, but he was in and around. And obviously he was waiting for moments of magic from others to create for him. And he found his own magic, to be fair, because he relying on instinct, which he has done. And now he's got a fair few goals to his name. And it looks really fluid with him up top. I know Havertz was on the bench and some will say, oh, look at this, Jesus, Havertz shouldn't be on the same pitch. But it was only the other stream where he was bigging up that them two was working quite well with one another. But, Arteta found a way. But on to the next part. This is the second half, straight from the get-go, by the way. Brentford was stunned. It's as simple as that, stunned. The game was killed off in the space of 15 minutes, right? Arsenal started with more urgency, more determination, and a lot more confidence. That tells me that whatever was said at halftime really got, obviously, the guys going, whether it was the captain from Erdegaard or it was in and around amongst the dressing room, someone from the bench like a Declan Rice who can view the pitch a little bit differently, or maybe even Arteta. But everything changed. Brentford, they gave a good 45 minutes as much as they could. But they just couldn't get hold of the ball until Arsenal allowed them. And Arsenal pressured them into a point where they were just knackered, disjointed. And as much as they were trying to, find solutions, they just wasn't allowing it, right? And then obviously Nwaneri happens. This is what I mean about this kid. He is the reason, and this is why he needs his flowers and deserves it. Not overhyping it, but, credit's due when it's due, right? Is whether it's from the corner, it doesn't matter who's taking it. Saka was doing that duty on that side. He does it, forces a situation from a wicked ball. And, of course, Marino scores that goal. And then, of course, as well, when he's running at Lewis Potter, who had nothing on him in the second half, by the way, he was all Nwaneri, whips the ball in, finds a situation. Before you know it, Martinelli, done deals, whatever. And that's not even the most impressive part. It was like he's been playing football for a long time and he knew his role. And it makes me wonder, if you can do this to a hot Brentford at the moment, right? It's without Saka, you're scoring 3 goals away from him. I think that was the big thing. Can Arsenal do it away from home without Saka? There you go. I think that's a little bit more convincing. Can they move the ball? Like I said, Arteta played all the footballers, all the technical ballers at least of what he had at his disposal. And then he managed the game. And I just thought, you know what? You probably have to give Arteta some flowers here. It's not like they didn't have chances to win the game in other areas, in other situations. We can go to the first half and talk about Jesus deciding not to shoot in a certain situation where Arsenal could have went ahead. Excuse me, by the way. Didn't happen, did it? But it's just, And you can probably mention a couple other moments as well from a corner. There you go. You know, I thought Arsenal just played really well, moved the ball really well in the end, especially in the second half. They just picked up things. And this is what I mean about Arsenal managed the lead how a top team should. And again, let me talk to you about that part. Man City used to do it all the time, right? And he done it actually, you know what, as far as last year, Liverpool do it this year a lot. And I praise Slot, the way he manages games. You know, when you're like 3-1 up, you allow the other team to have possession. You allow the other team to have most of the ball because, funny enough, you don't need to exert your energy into wanting to get another goal. It will come if it needs to come, right? And you can play transition. And that's exactly what happened. There was like, after the third goal, it looked like it was all Brentford. Possession, moving it forward. But by the time it even got to the 80th minute, I believe Brentford had one attempt on goal. Easy, soaking up the pressure and making sure it's tight in the middle of the pitch. And any time that Vissel and Burmo got onto the ball, suffocated them, right? And this is exactly how it should be managed. You don't need to, you're 3-1 up away from home. You don't need to go get another goal. You don't need to force yourself and be exposed. You don't need to, you don't like make yourself vulnerable at that. Gabriel and Saliba just absolutely mopped up because Calafiori fixed up as well, to be fair. Timber as well, nothing went past him. And Partey and whatnot, done deals, isn't it? And you know what the best thing about that part was for on an Arsenal perspective and what I viewed as it is, I was thinking, wow, they still got Declan Rice to come on. Declan Rice is just going to clamp up everything. You don't need all the technical ballers in the world when you're 3-1 up. You need someone that's going to absolutely either press them into oblivion or clean up. And after that, Jorginho comes on to slow down the tempo if needed. It was only like, what, 5, 6, 8 minutes in total or 7 minutes in total when Georgia, but it's just the way it's managed. You got Brian on the weekend. I thought Arteta masterclass today, and that's fair enough. I don't think Erdegaard had his best game, which is, again, fair enough. I don't think a lot of players didn't have their greatest of games, but I've got to thank Arsenal. You know, some of the others lots of rivals, well, Dap said it perfectly in the midday show. If Arsenal drop points today, then you might as well kiss goodbye to the title for Liverpool, and it's a boring title race. So at least someone's keeping up the pressure. And yeah, Forest, fair enough, you're there. Okay, cool, whatever. But realistically, Chelsea's dropping points. They need to get back on their high horse. Arsenal are the ones to start chasing. And you know what? If they run away with it, then we've just got to talk. We've got nothing to talk about with this title race. So on my behalf, for me, because I hate Liverpool personally, and I don't exactly like Arsenal, but it's been a long time since the glory days of Arsenal versus Man United. It's just that I've got to say, cheers for that. I wanted you lot to win, to be fair. I'm on loan again. I'm a whore. I'm a whore. Simple as that. I don't want them lot winning. But if you lot can chase them down, please do so. And my last point obviously was the Declan Rice used at the right time. And that's obviously kudos to Arteta. But let me know what you think in the comments. Have I missed anything out? Right? Like the video, subscribe if you're new, if you like these breakdowns. I do them for pretty much most teams. I'm going to start doing them for other teams as well. I wish I could do it for mine. Whoop-de-doo, good joke. But yeah, in a bit. And obviously, you got Brighton on the weekend, 5:30. I don't know why that schedule's done that way, but we move, right? Keep up the pressure.